this guy's garage. Like and subscribe.
Point of order, the Honourable Government House Leader.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given what happened earlier today, I would like to inform the House that notwithstanding, there will not be any ministers' the Finance Minister statement at 4 p.m. today.
Honourable point of order, the Honourable Member from Perth Wellington.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As you would know, that was an order of the House that the Minister is trying to unilaterally withdraw. I seek the guidance from you and the table whether a Minister of the Crown can withdraw a unilateral order of this House to prevent the government from making a statement. I'm looking for your advice, obviously, Mr. Speaker, that the government, due to their own disorder and chaos, can now unilaterally withdraw an order of this House of such magnitude, Mr. Speaker.
Good point.
Thank the Honourable Member.
I would like to paraphrase the motion adopted by the House.
By unanimous consent, it was ordered that notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, at 4 p.m. on Monday, December 16, 2024, the Speaker shall interrupt the proceedings to permit the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance to make a statement, followed by a period of up to 10 minutes for question and comments. After the statement, a member from each recognised opposition party and a member of the Green Party may reply for a period of approximately equivalent to the same time taken by the Minister's statement, and each statement shall be followed by a period of 10 minutes for questions and comments. Alors, comme l'ordre a été adopté.
This order being adopted by the House, there is now leave to give the Minister and Deputy Prime Minister to present the fall economic statement. But the order is for the Chair to interrupt at 4.
So, just so that members all understand, as it was very clear in the order that was adopted by the House, the order was for the House, for the Speaker, to interrupt proceedings at 4 o'clock to permit the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. So it's a permissive situation here. The order is for me to stand up at 4 o'clock, which I shall do. The Honourable Member from York Simcoe. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And just for the opposition, could you clarify who the Deputy Prime Minister is and who the Minister of Finance is at this time?
I'm afraid I cannot respond to the Honourable Member of that, and that question would not be a question that would be posed to the Speaker. That would one that would be posed on to the government. Just before I come back to members. So the Honourable Member for Regina Capella is on his feet on a point of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I just want to go over the facts of this case. Last week, a few days ago, the government House Leader negotiated in good faith with all the opposition parties a process by which the fall economic update could be tabled in the House. We all agreed on that. That was not something that was going to happen automatically. It took the participation of all parliamentary parties to allow that to happen. We agreed in good faith. We expected it to happen. Everything that has happened today has been entirely of the government's own making. And parliamentarians should not be deprived of the information as to what is the fiscal situation here in Canada. Canadians are facing an unprecedented crisis on housing, on inflation, on debt and deficits. And this government has a statutory obligation to table these documents by the end of the year. This is the second last sitting day. And you have just denied a request for an emergency debate on this very same issue. There is no other opportunity for parliamentarians to find out just how bad the books are. But I go back to the point as to the fact that the government themselves initiated this agreement. The government committed to opposition parties that it would happen today. And so I ask you, Mr. Speaker, the fact that they are in chaos is not the problem of parliamentarians. It is a problem for Canadians, but it is not a problem caused by Canadians. And they have a right to know exactly what's happening with their tax dollars. And now for the government to come in at literally the last minute and pull the carpet out of an economic update is unbelievable. It is not the actions of a serious G7 NATO partner country. So at the very least, Mr. Speaker, I ask that you find the government in contempt of the House order that was passed by all members of this place.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will try and add to what's already been said. Obviously, not only do certain parliamentarians already have access to it, and most of us don't, journalists have access to it already. That will leak. There is a precedent, Mr. Speaker, which is in the mid to late 1980s when then Finance Minister Michael Wilson's printed budget leaked, and there is a printed budget that's available to be tabled now, or a fall economic statement. They can table those documents now. When it was leaked, the Minister of Finance had to go to the press gallery because the House wasn't sitting in the evening and actually deliver the full budget so that parliamentarians could get access. This is a similar situation in that you now have select people, some whom are not parliamentarians, have access to those documents, and I personally believe it's a breach of my privilege that a journalist has access to those documents, and I do not. When the government can simply table the budget, the fall economic statement documents in the House now without giving the speech.
Here, here. So I thank the honourable member from South Shore St. Margaret's. Indeed, he and I are of the same vintage, and I do remember that. I think it was 1989. I will recognize the honourable member from Calgary, Bull River.
This is my point of privilege that's been infringed on by what has been done. And I feel that this is a very grave injustice for people to have had this information, to come in with minutes before it announced, when those people had the document, were able to go out and use it and have had read it. My privilege has already been broken.
I thank the honourable member. I see that the honourable government House Leader is rising on a point of order. The honourable government, the parliamentary secretary of the government House Leader is rising on a point of order.
Government House Leader stood actually on a point of order, tabled documents. It's as simple as that.
So I thank the honourable government House Leader. Indeed, that was where the chair was going to go, but I do see that